Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the Foreign Ministry and other state institutions of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy for the extensive numbers of participants. Good morning to you all. It's a good evening here in Turkey. Seeing that we have enough participants and others will be joining soon, let me start the online conference organized by Ankara Policy Center and the Embassy of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in Ankara. The title of the online conference is Overview of Turkish Foreign Policy Towards Latin America. Our experts and ambassadors will try to give you the overview of how we approach and what are our policies towards Latin America and Venezuela in particular, of course. In 90 minutes, we will touch upon Turkey's Latin America strategy, how Turkey perceives Latin America, and lastly, Turkish defense diplomacy. Our distinguished speakers are former Turkish ambassador to Belgrade and Havana, Ambassador Hasan Servet Öktem, a very distinguished academician, Professor Aşkın İnci Sökmen Alaca from Istanbul Arel University, and prominent Latin American expert who also speaks fluent Spanish just in case, Mrs. Melike Hocaoğlu Çağlıyoruz. Having introduced our speakers, without further ado, let me start by giving the floor to Ambassador Fatih Ceylan, President of Ankara Policy Center, who was also Turkish ambassador to Khartoum, Sudan, and North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. Mr. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much indeed. At the very outset, let me extend my gratitude to the Embassy of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela here in Ankara, and particularly Ambassador Freddy Eduardo Molina Gutierrez for organizing this online conference in cooperation with the Ankara Policy Center. Ankara Policy Center is an association as well as a think tank bringing together a very seasoned retired Turkish diplomats, well-known academicians, Turkish academicians, and also members of media. Certainly, I should like to thank all our speakers wholeheartedly, and last but not least, to our moderator, Ambassador Metin Kılıç. With your indulgence, let me share some observations on where we stand in global affairs. The global landscape is in the middle of a transitional phase, rather a very challenging transitional phase, riddled with a very high degree of geopolitical and geostrategic rivalry. Power politics is back in full steam, and the so-called rules-based international order is no more. On a comparative note, focusing on Turkey's stance on Latin America and the recent events in the continent, let me share with you my observations on challenges faced by Turkey in our region. There are mainly two big challenges that we confront here in Turkey. One is the ongoing war in Ukraine, which is in our northern belt of geography. And the second one is the dramatic turn of events in the Middle East, in our southern basin, in the Levant region, since the October 2023 Hamas attack against Israel, and the downfall of the Assad regime in Syria in December 2024. Now, when we look briefly to events in Latin America, what we witnessed, particularly last year in 2024, what we witnessed is a series of elections that had taken place in a number of Latin American countries, in Mexico, Uruguay, Venezuela, El Salvador, Panama, and the Dominican Republic. And with the shifting tendencies, conflicting interests, and alignments of those countries' administrations, as well as their electorates. This year, this current year, 2025, we will also witness a new round of elections throughout Latin American countries, like respectively Ecuador, Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. I'm sure that our speakers will further elaborate on the potential consequences of these elections in Latin America and Turkey's stance vis-a-vis the Latin American countries, focusing, of course, on Venezuela. All elections in 2024 and 2025 combined, we may or may not face different sets of issues that will engage Latin American countries. Having said that, the biggest challenge for all of us, be it in Latin America, Europe, the Middle East, the Far East, is the Trump administration and how it will act for the next 4 years. The first signs of, I would say, a revisionist behavior, US behavior, have surfaced toward global affairs, and this would keep all of us pretty engaged to a high degree in the coming months and years. Under present circumstances, we would continue to witness an increase of worrying US positions, the aggressive attitude of the Putin administration in Ukraine, and an increased rivalry between the United States and China as a result of growing Chinese influence throughout the globe. I believe today's online conference will shed considerable light on such challenges of a global nature, both for Turkey's foreign and security policy and the Latin American issues and perspectives, and particularly the Venezuelan view on such issues. Without further ado, let me reiterate my thanks to all of you, and also the embassy, the Venezuelan embassy here in Ankara. And now the floor is back to Ambassador Metin, who's our moderator.
Thank you, Ambassador Ceylan, for this very insightful summary of world affairs. Now our first topic, and I refer to Mrs. Melike Hocaoğlu Çağlıöz, our Latin America expert, for her presentation titled "A Bridge on the Global Stage, Turkey's Latin America Strategy." Ms. Çağlıöz, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Distinguished representatives of Venezuelan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, esteemed officials, honorable ambassadors, and all participants, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today to talk about Turkey's foreign policy towards Latin America, a region I hold close to my heart, both professionally and personally. I would like to begin with a profound statement by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, founder of Republic of Turkey, "Peace at home, peace in the world." Since its foundation, Turkey has been guided by this principle, shaping its foreign policy to prioritize peaceful coexistence, mutual respect, and cooperation on a global scale. Today, I will briefly outline Turkey's foreign policy towards Latin America by focusing on these 6 key areas. To understand Turkey's current strategy in Latin America, it's essential to explore the historical context that laid foundation for today's relations. In the late 19th century, significant waves of migration from Ottoman territories reached countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico, leading the Ottoman Empire to establish diplomatic ties with the Latin American nations. These migrants, mostly Arabs holding the Ottoman passports, became known as Los Turcos. In fact, they were not Turkish. They were mainly Arab-speaking immigrants, Christians, Jews, and a minority of Muslims or Druze or Armenians. Today, the diaspora, known as Los Turcos, constitutes an emotional and key link to strengthening the ties between Turkey and Latin America. Among them, the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, Colombian singer Shakira, actress Salma Hayek, and billionaire Carlos Slim. Building on these developments, early diplomatic milestones further deepened the relationship. Chile was among the first countries to recognize the Republic of Turkey, and this paved the way of establishment of resident embassies in the region starting from 1940s. In the 1998, Turkey formalized its outreach to Latin America and the Caribbean by launching a dedicated policy to deepen the relations with the region. This outreach was not limited to diplomatic ties, but extended to economic, cultural, and academic collaborations. A comprehensive action plan for Latin America and Caribbean was developed, guiding Turkey's strategy for engagement. And by 2006, relations reached a new milestone when Turkey declared the Year of Latin America and the Caribbean. This initiative showcased Turkey's commitment to forge stronger bonds with the region. It led to significant progress, such as strengthening the legal frameworks and the establishment of mutual embassies. These efforts created a strong foundation for cooperation in trade, education, and cultural exchanges. Turkey has been pursuing a more proactive policy towards the countries of the region, especially in the last 20 years, in order to improve its relations with the Latin America region within the framework of its multilateral foreign policy. So now, on the diplomatic front, our presence has expanded remarkably. Back in the 2020, we had only 6 embassies in the region, and today proudly operate 18 embassies and 1 consulate. Shows our commitment and proactive approach to build closer ties with the region. And also, currently, 18 embassies from the region are active in Turkey. Alongside these embassies, there are 8 consulate general in Istanbul. Here, it is also important to mention the role of business diplomacy pursued by Turkish business institutions such as DEİK, chambers of commerce, and other private sector representatives. After each visit by the official representatives, whether presidents or ministers, a business delegation is always organized by private sector. These delegations help follow up on discussions and explore further business opportunities in the region. So we can see huge increase in trade volume starting from $9.50 million by 2002 and by the first 6 months of the last year reaching $7.7 million. We have seen consistent growth each year as a result of bilateral visits. So you can see from the ranking of the bilateral trade, even though we have a free trade agreement with Chile, it is still below its potential. Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia are the first 3 countries. In the past, Turkish business people were hesitant to invest capital in such a remote area. However, the expansion of Turkish Airlines, along with the several significant visits by the leaders and the private sector, as well as continued government incentives for trade missions, has changed this perspective. We are now beginning to see these efforts blossoms. I had also the privilege leading these delegations and witnessing the firsthand the flourishing cooperation. All of this has been fundamental to strengthening the economic relations with the region. First, as you can see on the list, one of the most outstanding investments, Yılport Yıldırım Holding, which represents the largest Turkish capital in the Latin American region, it operates mining and port projects in countries such as Colombia, El Salvador, Peru, and Guatemala. In the field of space technology, TUSAŞ, an important collaboration has developed between Turkey and Argentina. Both countries are working on the satellite project, a joint venture between Turkish aerospace industries and the Argentinas. Another noteworthy project is Global Investment Holding, which is transforming Havana's cruise port into a global hub, driving significant economic growth and tourism developments in Cuba. Finally, among the list, Aselsan, Turkey's largest and the most important defense company, plays a fundamental role in the industry. In Chile, Aselsan has been awarded a contract to modernize and engagement the sensor capabilities of the Chilean Leopard tanks. These investments are just few examples of the growing ties between Turkey and Latin America. So, in summary, why is Turkey economically important for Latin American countries? Turkey serves a gateway not only offering access to its sizable domestic market of 80 million people, but also a broader regional market spanning Europe, Middle East, North Africa, and Central Asia. The reason is just a 4-hour flight away, and with a combined population of 1.3 billion, and a market potential of $28 trillion. Turkey plays a vital role as a strategic hub, facilitating access to diverse markets. And on the flip side, why Latin American countries economically important for Turkey? The region, made of 33 countries, is of great significance due to its rich natural resources, strategic trade relations, and growth potential. With a combined GDP of 5.5 trillion and a population over 700 million, Latin America is a dynamic and expanding market essential for international trade. So Latin America can meet Turkey's needs for raw materials and in return benefits from Turkey's export to industrial technological products. This is a good indicator of complementary economic strengths both of the regions. So to facilitate trade and connection, today Turkish Airlines extensive flight network in Latin America covering 9 key destinations across the 8 countries. The routes connect the major cities such as Buenos Aires, Sao Paulo, Havana, and Mexico City, facilitating travel and boosting economic ties between Turkey and the region. Turkey has a foreign trade agreement, free trade agreement, and a trade development agreement with Venezuela, which holds the same status as free trade agreement, and ongoing FTAs negotiations are taking place with Mexico, Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. Additionally, negotiations are underway with Mercosur, with challenges in areas such as agricultural products from Turkey and the textile products from Latin American countries, and discussion around an individual or bloc foreign free trade agreement with Uruguay. Turkey's agreements for the reciprocal promotion and protection of investments in Latin America. These agreements are in place with Argentina, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia. Signed, but with Colombia it is signed but not ratified. It's still under the renegotiation. Uruguay and Venezuela. Additionally, negotiations are ongoing with the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua to establish similar engagements. This is an overview of our commercial consular offices in the region and military attaché offices in the region. So, Turkey's efforts go beyond just economic relations. We also focus on social and developmental support. Let me introduce you TİKA, Turkey's official development aid agency. TİKA implements a wide range of projects across the globe, including in Latin America, in areas like education, infrastructure, and health. Its core mission is to promote sustainable growth and provide crucial assistance to the local communities. A notable example of TİKA's immediate response came after 7.5 magnitude earthquake in Mexico in 2017, one of the country's most devastating disasters. TİKA was the first international organization to assist the earthquake victims, providing food aid and distributing the search and rescue boxes. As you can see in the image, this is the Turkey school that TİKA built in Mexico. This is just one example of TİKA's impactful projects in Latin America, whether it is revitalizing educational facilities in Panama or enhancing agricultural practices in Bolivia. TİKA's efforts throughout the region highlight its dedication to address critical needs and empower local communities. With the regional offices established in Mexico in 2015 and in Bogota in 2016, TİKA has implemented over 500 projects in the last 10 years, making a significant contribution to the Turkey's development efforts in Latin America and the Caribbean. So, moving on to development cooperation, Turkey has made a significant voluntary contribution to various regional organizations. These include $1.9 billion to the Organization of American States, $10 million to CARICOM, and almost $1 million to Association of Caribbean States, and $1.6 million to SICA. These contributions demonstrate Turkey's ongoing commitment to the regional development and strengthening its partnership with the region. So, I would like to highlight also Turkey's security contribution to Haiti. Over the past 10 years, the General Directorate of Security has provided around 40 security personnel to United Nations Mission for Justice support in Haiti. In addition, Turkey has assigned one security personnel for a year to the United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti since 2019, specifically in the role of planning officer for community policing. Furthermore, Turkey has contributed $50,000 to the UN Trust Fund for the multinational security support mission in Haiti, reflecting the Turkey's active role in promoting peace and security in the region. Turkey has made strides in cultural and tourism cooperation in Latin America. Yunus Emre Institute, Turkey's cultural organization promoting Turkish language and culture globally, has established cultural centers in Mexico, Argentina, and Venezuela. These centers serve as hubs for Turkish language education, arts, and cultural programs, playing an important role in fostering cross-cultural understanding and connections. The Mari Foundation, which focuses on providing high-quality education abroad with an emphasis on Turkish values and cultural exchange, enhances this cooperation with 3 schools in Venezuela and an office in Bogota. These institutions provide high-quality education while promoting the Turkish values and facilitating cultural exchange. On the other hand, Turkish television series have become a cultural phenomenon in the region, fueling interest in Turkish classes. Thousands of participants from Chile, Argentina, and Paraguay have enrolled in online Turkish language lessons, demonstrating the appeal of Turkey's culture and language. On the other hand, tourism between the region and Turkey is growing, with the visitor numbers climbing from 400,000 in 2022 to the almost 500,000 in 2023. Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia lead the way in tourist arrivals, showcasing the region's growing admiration for Turkey as a travel destination. Before concluding my presentation, I would like to briefly mention some key aspects of Turkey's cooperation with regional organizations in Latin America and the Caribbean. Turkey has been a member of UN Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC and CEPAL, since 2017. Turkey has participated in the Community of Latin America and the Caribbean States, CELAC, since 2013. And in fact, I had also the privilege to attending 4th Turkey CELAC Foreign Ministers meeting in Istanbul in 2017 with the representatives of Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Ecuador, and Guyana. Turkey has been the observer of the Pacific Alliance since 2013 and established a political consultation and cooperation mechanism with Mercosur since 2010. An important aspect of Turkey's outreach policy is also to strengthen interparliamentary relations. Turkey is actively working on establishing institutional ties not just with international parliaments, but also with the regional parliamentary organizations. Turkey has friendship groups with the parliaments of 17 countries and has ongoing contacts with the significant regional parliaments such as Central American Parliament, Mercosur Parliament, Andean Parliament, and Parliamentarians for the Americas. Turkey became an observer of the Latin American Parliament, Parlo Latino, in 2021 and the Andean Parliament. So, before concluding, I would like to highlight the strengthening of our ties. This picture was taken in 2018, and I was in that room with the presidents at Miraflores Palace. It was a period of intensive bilateral relation and dialogue between our countries, but also a challenging period for Venezuela. The US sanctions on Venezuela, including several restrictions on essential goods like food, created significant hardships and which is unacceptable. Turkey stood as one of the few countries that maintained commercial and economic relations with Venezuela, playing a crucial role in preventing crisis from worsening. Many Venezuelan businesses have survived thanks to these investments, and the private sector interest in Turkey has grown significantly. In face of isolation, Turkey extended a lifeline of solidarity, embodying the spirit of partnership. As we move forward, the relationship between Turkey and Latin America stands as a vibrant connection of our regions, rich in history, culture, and ambition. We are no longer distant neighbors on a map, but partners building a shared future founded on cooperation, innovation, and mutual values. The path ahead is bright, and it is ours to shape with vision and a purpose. Thank you. Ha sido un gran placer. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hocalı Çağlıöz, for this very comprehensive and very timely presentation. Seeing the numbers that you have given, I can see that both Latin America and Turkey are and will be very important economic and social partners. Now, for topic 2 of our conference, I refer to Ambassador Hasan Servet Öktem, our former ambassador to Belgrade and Havana, also the head of the Latin America desk in Ankara Policy Center, for his presentation titled General Outlook at South America, Turkish Perception. Ambassador, floor is yours. Sesinizi açar mısınız?
Evet. Okay. You can hear me?
Şimdi duyuyoruz, evet.
Hello to everybody. Thank you for giving this opportunity to myself to express to our dear guest my views regarding Latin America. At the end of 2024, observing the developments from Ankara, what attracts our attention in the political sphere regarding Latin America and Caribbean. I will make short political comments about 13 countries of the region, and my last comment will be with regard to President Trump. First country is Haiti. Haiti was one of the 9 countries I was in charge during my stay in Cuba. Haiti is the country facing most difficulties in the region. Since 2016, it has been unable to hold elections. In 2021, after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, the country is in the hands of gangs. Prime Minister Ariel Henry's efforts did not stop the gang violence. His enforced resignation opened the way for the interim presidential council, which has promised to organize the elections in February 2026. But fair and free elections cannot be held unless security conditions improve. The multinational force of 2,500 police is only 600 strong today. Kenya must deploy the promised additional police contingent to the island without delay. And the international community, led by the US, must remove obstacles to the 2,500-person mission relentlessly. The second country is Nicaragua. The situation in poorly governed Nicaragua has not improved for years and is not expected to improve until the next elections. The sanctions and pressure do not bring any results. The authoritarian rule of the Ortega family is a hopeless case. Nicaragua is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. The third country is Venezuela, the country of popular leader, late Hugo Chavez, and great libertador Simón Bolívar. The Maduro administration and the international community disagree on the results of the July 28 elections in Venezuela. Venezuela will struggle with diplomatic isolation in 2025. The US sanctions that we witnessed during the first term of the Trump administration will repeat and will deeply disturb the Venezuelan people and its administration. The fourth country is Ecuador, the country of Galapagos Islands. Ecuador has been fighting against gangs for 2 years. Drug cartels are using the port of Guayaquil to export the cocaine to US and Europe. Elected in 2023, President Daniel Noboa has ruled the country under a state of emergency. He has been relatively successful in combating gang violence and maintaining public order. Voters' security concerns will determine the outcome of the elections, which will be held in early February. The rival of President Daniel Noboa is the lady from Rafael Correa party. The fifth country is El Salvador. When we say El Salvador, everyone remembers the name of Nayib Bukele, the young and unusual leader who thrived in the fight against the gangs. Nayib Bukele is beloved at home and criticized abroad as too authoritarian. Bukele also attracted attention by generating income for his country by investing in Bitcoin. Most people believe that he has a bright political future. I am sure that we will continue to hear his name in the coming years. The sixth country is Colombia, the country of famous artist Fernando Botero and the writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Colombia President Gustavo Petro is trying to convince the country's terrorist drug organizations to make peace, but to no avail. When I was working in Havana, peace negotiations between Colombian government and FARC, Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia, were taking place in Cuba. The peace agreement with FARC was signed in 2016. At that time, I was convinced that Colombia overcame most of the obstacles it was facing. I was happy that the successful president, Juan Manuel Santos, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Lately, unfortunately, it turned out that there was a much longer road ahead. The seventh country is Chile, el país del inolvidable presidente Salvador Allende. Chile was known as a stable and prosperous country. It was governed by Michelle Bachelet and Sebastián Piñera during 2006 and 2022. Leftist president followed by liberal one. They exchanged their seats every 4 years. Suddenly, unexpectedly, massive social protest broke out in late 2019, sorry. The hidden reason was the unjust income distribution. Under the young leftist President Gabriel Boric, Chile wasted the opportunity to replace its neoliberal old constitution. This is the constitution of General Pinochet, with a more social and egalitarian one. I think a historic opportunity has been missed. Chile will continue to develop in the coming years, but it will remain the country with the most unequal income distribution in the region. The eighth country is Peru, the country of Maravillosa Machu Picchu. The Peruvian parliament has wasted the country's precious time by unseating the elected president Pedro Castillo. Public trust in President Dina Boluarte and parliament is at an all-time low. The death of Alberto Fujimori, the much-loved and much-hated conservative leader, was the event of the year in Peru. The name Fujimori will survive through his daughter Keiko Fujimori, also a politician. Number 9, Bolivia. In Bolivia, two leftist leaders have been in dispute for 3 years. That's why this year's elections are an opportunity for the conservative right-wing opposition. Evo Morales is betraying his party, MAS, Movimiento al Socialismo, and to his voters because of his endless desire for office. He has never been able to retire. The 10th country is Argentina, the country of Evita Perón, the country of tango, the country of Lionel Messi and Maradona. Under the right-wing president Javier Milei, Argentina is fighting the inflation monster well and getting results. But the country is also getting poorer. Removing the wreckage left by the previous Peronist and neoliberal governments is a very difficult task. Even if he is crazy, Javier Milei must be given time and opportunity. The 11th country is Cuba, the country where I spent more than 4 years and I enjoyed very much. This is the country of Fidel Castro, Ernesto Che Guevara, Camilo Cienfuegos, Buena Vista Social Club, and Chucho Valdez. Unfortunately, Cuba is one of the countries in the most difficult situation. Trump's return to the White House and the appointment of Cuban-American Marco Rubio as Secretary of State is a nightmare scenario for Cuba. Trump and Marco Rubio will try very hard to bring about regime change in Havana. I feel sorry for the Cuban people. Number 12, the Samba country, Brazil. Under its popular leader, Lula da Silva, Brazil remains the leading country in Latin America. Economic indicators are highly satisfying. Brazil is also a prestigious country in the global south. It can stand up to Washington. I wish Lula a long life. The last country is Mexico. After 6 successful years in office in Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador left his seat to his protégé, Claudia Sheinbaum. The country's first female leader has to fight against Trump's threats and pressures. I wish her success. Taking advantage from the rivalry and dispute between USA and China, Mexico has successfully become the US major foreign trade partner. Despite being a country with rising economic indicators, receiving considerable foreign investment, and reducing poverty, Mexico has not been able to solve the security and public order problems caused by drug cartels for years. Thousands of Mexicans, including politicians, journalists, die in conflicts every year. Since 2006, 430,000 homicides are registered. I repeat the number, 430,000 homicides. I have been following this country closely for 15 years, but I cannot imagine a Mexico where the cartels have ended and disappeared. Lastly, few words about Trump. We can already declare 2025 the year of Trump. Trump is not only worrying people in his own country, he is also scaring people in Canada, Mexico, and Panama. With his threats and pressures, he is making the whole of Latin America and the Caribbean pessimistic and anxious. European countries are also disturbed by Trump's behavior. While Turkey is closely watching with concern what will happen in neighboring Syria, Turkey is also disturbed by Trump's stirring up Syria from 10,000 kilometers away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Hasan Servet Öktem, for this very insightful summary of situation in Latin America. from the eyes of the Turkish people. This is how Turkish diplomats, academicians, and people who are interested in foreign affairs observe what's happening in the American continent. Now, for the third part of our conference, I refer to Professor Ashkan İnci Sökmen Alaca, a very prominent academician of Turkey from Ariel University. Her presentation is about a relatively new sector of Turkish foreign policy. Most probably it will be one of the major cooperation areas between Turkey and Latin America, Turkish defense industry and the security diplomacy. Mrs. Alaca, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Metin Kılıç. First of all, distinguished representatives of Venezuelan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, esteemed officials, honorable Turkish ambassadors, and all participants, I would like to thank you to participate, to invite me to these meetings. I will share my presentations first, and I think you see my presentation, right? Okay.
Yes, we see.
Yes. Today, I will briefly outline Turkey's defense sector and defense diplomacy in the regional and international area, focusing on historical context, goals of the new visions of the Turkish defense industry, transformation of the defense industry, multi-domain warfare capacity of Turkey, Turkish military companies, and lastly, I will mention the defense diplomacy. The rapid advancement of Turkey's defense industry in recent years has garnered significant attention, particularly due to its transformation from a largely import-dependent sector into an emerging global arms exporter. To understand Turkey's prioritizations of the defense industry, we need to look at the following map. Although Turkey has a special geopolitical position between East and the West, armed conflicts have taken place in its immediate neighbors in the last 10 years. Especially being neighboring the Middle East, Turkey has always had a military force capable of fighting wars and countering terrorist organizations. For this reason, Turkey's defense industry has undergone dramatic changes over the last 50 years, and the country has become a significant defense exporter. As a result of this investment, you can see Turkey's ninth position among the military power ranking in 2025. What is the main objective of the Turkish military and defense strategy? Of course, to protect territorial integrity of the nation, protect long-term maritime interests, advance countries' international status and gaining leverage, and achieve strategic autonomy. In the international system, Turkey has been regarded as a middle-sized power, but since the 2002 with the AKP government, the main vision is to change that status from the middle range to the global players. Therefore, defense sector is the key sector to achieve that ambitions for the Turkey. As a result of these investments, you will see this ninth position of the Turkey. And also, I would like to give short, briefly information about how we achieve this defense sector success. First of all, the evolution of the Turkish defense and industry can be categorized into the following key areas. The first period is between the 1923 and 1939 was marked by the establishment of the Turkish Republic and early efforts to build a national defense industry despite significant technological and economical challenges. Key initiatives including the establishment of military factory at the early years. Then during the second period between the 1939 and 1974, particularly following its admission into the NATO in 1952, Turkey increasingly looked to foreign military aid chiefly from the United States, to bolster its defense capabilities. While this foreign aid bolstered the Turkish armed forces capabilities, it simultaneously stifled the development of the domestic defense industry and resulted in an over-reliance on U.S. military equipment. The breaking point for the Turkish defense industry was U.S. embargo after the Cyprus crisis and after the Turkey put into practice modern and organized defense industry plans. In the recent years, these events has also illuminated the dangers of the foreign dependence on Turkey's defense needs. In response, national awareness around building an indigenous defense industry grew and state-led initiatives gained momentum. Last period after the 1980s to present marks the area of rapid expansion and consolidation of Turkey's defense industry. This period has seen as a major increase in both the scale and the scope of the defense project, with a strong emphasis on indigenous production and technological innovation. Turkey has been in defense transformation by focusing on self-reliant and techno-nationalist model by allocating national security resources with the awareness of today's world conflicts on energy, defense, security, and ongoing fight against terrorism in a historical perspective. These geopolitical and strategic status of Turkey and the resilience of the Turkish defense industry have also emerged opportunities and challenges for Turkish foreign policy. Turkey's long-standing ambition to establish a self-sufficient defense industry has led to considerable industrial growth and increased Ankara's strategic autonomy by reducing the influence of foreign suppliers. Currently, the Turkish defense industry is one of the sectors that contributes the most to the country's economy, with nearly 3,000 companies. The main goals and visions of the Turkish defense industry, as you see from the slide, first, technological leadership, then innovation and research, development, and also export and global presence. And also, as of today, with the support from the local and global users and the domestic ecosystem, the value of the projects carried out under the coordination of Defense Industry Agency of Turkey has exceeded approximately $90 billion. Today, the Turkish defense industry continues to present a steady growth thanks to its strong infrastructure, and also indigenous designs and technological capabilities together have formed original products. Primarily land vehicles, but also naval and air platforms have been developed and are being exported. The industry has also made breakthroughs in innovation and current weapon system, as well as unmanned platforms and turrets. In here, you will see the advantages of the Turkish defense industry. To sum up from the slide, well-developed industrial and human resource ecosystem, strong government investments. For example, this is the defense industrial ecosystem of the Turkey. In the middle side, you will see defense industrial coordinator. Under the defense industrial coordinator, both private and state companies are all together creating these technological military investments. And also, what else in here, a high number of strategic agreements with international partners facilitating defense industry collaboration and trade, and also Turkish globally competitive national defense companies. Here, according to the here you see 5 important Turkish companies. According to 2023 defense reports, 5 Turkish companies rank among the top 100 global defense industry leaders. These are first Aselsan, then Thai, Turkish Aerospace Industries, and then Roketsan, and the 4th one is Machine and Chemical Industry Company, and the last one is Asvat, Military Factory and Shipyard Management. This is the table show us year by year these companies' performance in Turkish defense sector. And also the last one is one of the this is last one is the international cooperation and joint project. Since being a NATO member Turkey made many NATO collaborations and also military agreements with other countries in the different regions of the international system, and also they have a very strong regional partnerships in many different areas. And also these are the some partnerships companies from the slide you will see. And the other important point is transformation in defense industry. Here is based on the two main points. First one, indigenization, and the other one, nationalization. Why nationalization or techno-nationalism so important? I said before, after the Cyprus crisis, U.S. government, even though we are the members of the NATO, faced embargo by the United States, and also still in some different times we will saw the same blockage by the U.S. in the vain Predator drones, Patriot missile systems, delivery of F-35s, and Turkish participation in the 535 program by U.S. and also the other NATO members. First Germany, then France, and the Canada, we face the same embargo. Therefore, the best way is to create your own national defense sector with your own national resources. Up to now, around 80%, Turkey has already achieved techno-nationalist defense sector. And also in the research and innovative technologies, we created many new weapons, especially in unmanned aerial vehicles, and the results of these vehicles in the different conflicts like Libya, Syria, Nagorno-Karabakh, and also also countering terrorism in Iraq and Syria. Turkey achieved great results. Therefore, also we continue this new innovation in our space technology. And as you see, the new domain of 5 new domain of the warfare, because Turkey is also again continue to membership of NATO and arrange its warfare strategies according to new warfare tactics. The last one is multi-domain warfare, and this area you have to have a capability in the 5 domains: first, space and cyber, air and land, sea. And therefore Turkey since 1980s created a Turkish Space Agency and began to improve its space capabilities, firstly commercially, then militarily. As you see from the slide, here is 10 targets for the space. Up to now, half of them have already finished, but we have a long path to achieve the others, remaining 5 targets. And also in the space area, we are very good in productions of the both mini and large satellites. And also this slide show us Turkey's satellite roadmap since 1994 and until the 2020, but we are still to continue to production of new satellites. And here is the last one is the Fergani has already launched its first satellite, FGN 100D1. This satellite is a next-gen military satellite and also provide us GPS information and data from the space. And Turkey has already its own GPS satellite among the other global players. And also, as you see, transforming results number of the defense projects and also the total value of the contracts year by years of the Turkish defense sectors from the slide. And also we have profound transformations, so solely procurement, design and manufacture new mini vehicles from the land to air and also navy areas. These are the new products and created by the completely Turkish own resources. And also currently Turkey is regarded top 10 countries as a military aircraft as a ninth again in 9th ranking. This is a great success for Turkey. And also the latest Turkey conducted maiden flights of the 9 indigenous platforms since 2013. As you see in the middle, the Khan is a new 5th generation fighters, and also the other Anka-3, Akıncı, TB2 of Bayraktar, indigenous unmanned combat arm vehicle, Hürkuş, Aksungur, Kızıl Elma, TB Hürjet. And also we are so proud of us about the creation, about the producing 5th generation aircraft. As you see, the other countries' aircrafts in the same sections, and Turkey here is a Thai TFX programs, and also the latest one is the Khan, the world's most powerful 5th generation fighter jets. If you compare it with other countries, Raptor of Russians, and Su-57 and G20, and the Khan details. And also the major Turkish armed drone models and manufacturers, these are actually tested in the many conflicts like Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, again in Iraq, and also Nagorno-Karabakh, and these successes were very good during that conflicts. Therefore, actually we created new military warfares based on the armed drone military weapons after that use in these conflicts. And also currently Turkey is one of the countries who dominate the drone warfare. As you see in the ranking is 7th position. And also these are the other military weapons from aerospace and also from the Navy parts. This is actually to show our global supply chain programs is first E400EM program. This is the first program that enabled Thai to gain capability and responsibility of whole lifestyle aerospace products, starting from the concept design, studies, after sale, logistics, support activities. And also in addition to international partnership, Turkish companies have developed strong domestic capabilities with cutting edge technologies, Anka, Bayraktar Tactical, unmanned drones, and Karayel tactical unmanned drones again. And also this is the Anka Sungur and Bayraktar Akıncı, the other ones. And also the last one is the TF's program. I said before, this is one of the part of the 5th generation airfight of Turkey. And also we have already improved our missiles and rocket system, especially we created long-range ballistic missiles. Turkey has the ballistic missiles capable of striking targets at distances beyond 500 kilometers. And also air defense system we created, maybe you know from the international media, we the purchasing S-400 from the Russia created so much problems with NATO membership. Therefore, Turkey chose to create its own air defense system. In here, you will see from the slide a different air defense system according to range levels, and also first air-to-air missile, laser guns, and electromagnetic rail guns, pictures of the Turkish defense sector. And also, this is the last one, still the DOME project, this air defense system. As you know, we are living in pro-war region. That means Middle East. Therefore, you need to that kind of the project. This is completely Turkish made of steel dam project for air defense purposes. And also the other strongest side of the Turkish defense sector is shipbuilding and defense industry. Up to now, we created its own navy. In this navy, you will see submarines and corvettes, and also there are the other types of the TG Istanbul, TG Anadolu. This is the Turkey's largest warship, multi-purposes amphibious assault ship. TG Anadolu is able to transport the necessary combat and support vehicles to crisis areas with an amphibious battalion. You will see how many cars, how many flights, how many warcrafts, how many unmanned combat can carry within its body. You will see from the pictures. And also this is also portable Atmaca laser weapons. They are deployed. They are put on the ships, and we also improve its laser capacity in the land vessels and also sea ships lasers on the. And here is the Turkish made rifle of rifle. These are used for the countering terrorism areas. All the time we are improving our pistols and guns, and also the other types of the land weapons. And also the other one, military electronics and software solution today. Electronic warfare system is also another new types of the system. Turkey has developed its own electronic warfare system, including jammers and radar detection system. And also usually we will use hybrid air warfare and integration of these artificial intelligence into the domain, because currently the level of the technology come to the quantum level, and Turkey also built its quantum computer in Ankara after the US and China. This is the third country to build up its quantum computer system. And also we also improve quantum radar system for the air defense. And also currently Turkey's defense exports have increased significantly in recent years, exceeding 7.1 billion in 2024. And we are exporting all these military weapons over the 100 countries. And you will see year by year these revenues of the Turkish defense sector from the table. And also in which countries we will export these weapons, as you see, from Middle East to Europe, and also Central Asia, and also in Africa, and in which countries have already purchased unmanned combat aerial vehicles. And also we will send so much Europe. You will see from the Bayraktar to ships, Navy ships, and also the other land vehicles have already sold different European countries. You will see from the table. And this is also the other countries: Turkmenistan, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, Oman, Azerbaijan, and Bangladesh. We have a very wide range of the customers in international arms area. And also the last one is, we already deal with Saudi Arabia. These 6 million defense agreements is covering warships, tanks, and missile system, and also including from our fighters. And the last one is security diplomacy, regional and global cooperation. Turkey always believed that the peace is more important than war, but all the time first diplomacy, then peace by strength policy. It apply. However, as you see at the first map, we are surrounded by the aggregator neighbors who wants to change its border to expand their territories to other countries' border. Therefore, we have to prepare all the time against any kind of the conflicts and wars. In the regionally, Turkey plays an active role in regional security, cooperating with neighboring countries to address the common challenges. In every year in the Antalya, we will discuss all the issues and threatening matters with participated countries and ambassadors, and also the other foreign policy officials. And also in the global cooperation, Turkey always said that the security matter just not based on the 5 countries. That means the currently permanent members of the United Nations Security Council should be changed, including should also include new global actors like Turkey and the other India and etc. Therefore, Turkey always inside of the reforming of the United Nations Security Council, because Turkey is always ready to take more responsibilities to providing international security and the other issues. And also already Turkey has taken place many United Nations peacekeeping operations in Africa, in Middle East, and the other regions. regions in Europe. And currently you will see from the map countries that are allies of the Turkey, common defense allies due to the NATO membership. Show from the map, it shows red areas. The orange areas show us other military alliances and partnership. We know that we so polarize multi-world we live in. Therefore, we don't want to take stand altogether one side, but we have to take all the opportunities for all the countries. Therefore, first peace and then diplomacy and collaborations with all the countries in around of the world. And also this is of course since 1952 Turkey accession to NATO and its responsibilities. You will see we participated Afghanistan. We also taken place in Bosnia and Herzegovina, in Sudan, in Kosovo, fighting against terrorism and irregular migration. Actually, NATO changed our military capabilities, especially at the early years. We need that kind of the aid, but sometimes we have not agree with in some issues, but Turkey has the so strongest position within the NATO after the United States, because they have already second most powerful army within the NATO organization. And also you will see the Turkey's military presence in the different regions. Especially we have a navy base in Qatar, in Somalia, and also we have again the very good security agreement with Libya, and also in Azerbaijan is also in the southern region, and also we have a Qatar. You will see the Turkey's UN peacekeeping operations where he engage in the missions. Therefore, all the time, therefore, these military strength, Turkey wants to be also permanent members of the United Nations Security Council after any kind of the reform. So my presentation, it's like that. I'm waiting the questions, and thank you for your again.
Professor Ashkan İnce Sökmen Alaca, thank you very much for this extensively informative presentation on Turkish defense sector and capabilities. We very much enjoyed it. And with this presentation, we came to the end of our conference. For the closing speech, now I invite Ambassador Eduardo Molina Gutierrez, Ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in Ankara. Mr. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. We have a translation from Spanish to Turk, but I think it's not necessary. Maybe I can speak. Well, dear colleagues, first I would like to express my gratitude to the Ankara Policy Center, one of the Turkey's leading think tank and a friend of this embassy, for its support in organizing this event. I would also like to extend my appreciation to Ambassador Fatih Ceylan, President of the Center, and its Secretary General, Ambassador Metin Kilic, who, with their vast experience, have provided us with a comprehensive conference that will allow us to continue accumulating knowledge about Turkish politics. My recognition goes to the panelists for their thorough work on Turkish foreign policy and for their interest in our region. Of course, I wish to thank my colleague from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other Venezuelan state institutions for their participation on this conference. Until the 1990s, Turkey relations with the region has been friendly but stagnant. The main reason for this stagnation were geographical distance and differing foreign policy priorities. The official visit of the President Suleiman Demirel to Argentina, Brazil, and Chile in April 1995 was the Turkey's first presidential visit to the Latin America and Caribbean region. The visit of the president Recep Tayyip Erdogan to Mexico, Colombia, and Cuba in February of 2015 became of the second presidential visit after 20 years interval. Notably, in February of 2016, he embarked on a second tour to Chile, Peru, and Ecuador. In the past 20 years, in the line with its multidimensional foreign policy, Turkey has pursued a more active engagement with the region to strengthen its relations with Latin America and Caribbean countries. The fields of cooperation with the region are diverse, including economic collaboration, technical cooperation, development aid, as well as cultural and academic exchange. In this context, Venezuela has been a key partner in the consolidation of these ties, reflected in the growing trade, exchange, and cooperation in a strategic sector like energy, infrastructure, and culture. In recent years, we have signed important agreements that strengthen this relationship and allow us to move forward together toward a more prosperous future. As you can see, Turkey's foreign policy push toward the region is relatively recent. Signed 2022. We the Justice and Development Party, the AK Party, came to power under the leadership of the current president Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Both diplomatic and commercial relationships have gained new momentum. Since then, Turkey has increased its number of embassies in the region for 2018. In recent years, Turkish Airlines has straight connectivity between Turkey and Latin America and Caribbean countries with direct flights to Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, Havana, Caracas, Bogota, Panama, Cancun, and Mexico City. In summary, an increased Turkish presence in the region is anticipated. Under this multipolar foreign policy, Turkey has transitioned from being a regional power to becoming a global actor. Finally, I take this opportunity to inform you that this year, Venezuela and Turkey are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the establishment of their diplomatic relation. Within this framework, this embassy is organizing a series of activities through the year to commemorate this milestone, and you are all invited. I invite you all to be part of this commemoration of the 75th anniversary, not only as spectators, but as protagonists in the construction of a stronger and more fruitful relationship between our peoples. Once again, thank you very much for each one for your participation, and it's important for us feel closer with Turkey. This is out of the speech. It's important for us because in the hardest moment in our modern history, maybe it's the hardest moment in our modern history, Turkey will be there. It's in Spanish we say, maybe as it's possible you translate that in Turkey, los buenos amigos se conocen en la cárcel y en el hospital.
İyi arkadaşlar her zaman bir hapse düşünce veya da hastaneye düşünce anlaşılır diye bir deyiş olduğunu söyledi Büyükelçimiz.
Turkey is there in the hardest moment of our modern history, and it's important for us this relationship with you are experts in many areas, and we need to build together this revolution is not only for Venezuelan people. This is for all the world. It is a project to survival our species. It's important for us. Thank you very much again. Thank you for your participation and the participants in Venezuela. Gracias a todos los que están en Venezuela por participar. Esta es su casa. Cuando necesiten algo, por favor, háganoslo saber. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Guterres, for your closing speech, as well as your embassy's cooperation for the organization of this conference. As you have said, this year, 2025, is the 75th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations. So this conference has been very timely. My thanks also goes to Ambassador Ceylan, as well as our distinguished speakers, Mrs. Melike Hocaoğlu Çağlıöz, Ambassador Hasan Servet Öktem, and Professor Aşkın İnci Sökmen Alaca. And I thank you very much for the participants from Venezuela. I wish them a very good and bright day from Turkey. With best regards, I close this session. Thank you very much for your participation.